And,
when the vehicle assembly building was completed in 1966, it was one of the largest buildings in the world by volume. That building is so large in volume, it's a 3 3/4 Empire State Building inside this building. You can also put Yankee Stadium on top of this building and have about an acre left over for parking.
Standing on the tower right now, looking over at some of the launch sites, and you can see over here there's one of the launch sites. The shuttle actually is on this pad right now. You can see the external fuel tank, and you can also see over here to the right that round ball. That is where they actually hold the fuel before they actually fill it up. They don't keep the fuel in the tanks until the last minute. And it's pretty cool to see a shuttle sitting on the launch pad. It's the first time I've actually seen that. All right, so we are outside the theater now, looking at the Apollo rocket, and you can just see how massive this thing is. It's the whole size of the building, and these are just the rockets. Incredible. We are now at stage 2, and this is the stage 2 part of the rocket, and you can see how big this engines are as well. There's 5 engines on this thing, and this is still just as enormous, seemingly as enormous as the first section. Unbelievable in size, and just to think about how much power these engines actually had to produce in order to keep this thing going. So, pretty impressive sight. And you can kind of see we're on the underbelly of this thing, looking backwards towards the tail end of the rocket. Amazing. Really cool. Stage 1. Yeah. And over here, stage 2. It is. I know. And it's amazing how much size and power this thing had to have. And wait till you see the very beginning of this thing and see where they actually flew this thing. All right, you're looking at the stage number 2 rocket, the top of it actually, and you can see this is the top cap part of it where the fuel tank actually is. It's pretty large. And over here you can see the stage number 3. And this is the stage number 3 rocket engine itself, and you can see the actual size of the stage number 3. Okay, here's the separation between stage 3 and the service module. And you can kind of see as I scroll over to the side here, you can see the service module and then the command module right up here at the very top. And this is the finish of the actual rocket, and you can see the astronauts actually sat right up at the top in that little triangular sphere, and there's the actual command module and service module, and that's so now this is a replica of the Ellen module, and this is where and there's Audrey. Hi, baby. And you can see how much space they actually had, and this is the actual lunar lander module itself. If you think about the Apollo 13 movie and how much time they actually had to spend in this thing, it's incredible how cramped of a space it was. You can also get a better appreciation for how much actual living quarter space they had in the actual spaceship, in the rocket itself. You can see the lunar lander module itself. It's hard to believe actually how large this actually looks and where it actually fit on this large rocket. It actually was stationed at the top of the rocket, and there wasn't a lot of room for cargo, so it's amazing that they actually were able to squeeze something of this size onto the top of the rocket. Over here is a lunar rover training vehicle that they used. This is actually a vehicle that the astronauts used for training. And you can see how simplistic it is and how basic it really is. The real one was probably a lot lighter weight than this, and had to be really light so that it could actually be carried on the rocket itself. We're in the mock-up model space station, and this is the bathroom and shower facilities. You can see here what it looks like to live on a space station. And here's some drink dispensers and some food and a little oven here. And looks like a little window portal area here where they can change. And again, another what appears to be maybe a wardrobe, living quarters here where they sleep. You can see this thing here on the side is where they actually zip up, and that's how they sleep in a weightless environment. So we're in the laboratory module where they actually conduct a lot of the experiments, and you can see all the equipment that they have in the space station. And give you an idea again of the size of this and the type of equipment that you might see in an actual space station. You see all these, all this specialized equipment, and there's some things in here for plants, experiments, all kinds of cool stuff. And this is a more realistic look at the space station, and you can see here how crowded it actually is. There's stuff on all sides. They don't waste any space. There's no walking area in a real module, and you can kind of see they just have stuff scattered all over the place. If they come in a little bit closer, you can kind of see the complexity of the equipment, and it looks like a pretty complicated environment to work in. All right, we're coming up on the Saturn rocket, and you can see we're a lot closer than we were previously, and you can kind of get an idea of how big this really is. It's actually a fairly large rocket, really, but compared to the Apollo rocket, it is not anywhere near that size. And you can also now see what the rocket garden actually looks like up close. Here's some of the rockets of old. And here's one of the engines that actually powered the Apollo rocket itself. And we are standing at the front part of a space shuttle demo unit where we can actually take a walk inside. This is life-size example of what a space shuttle looks like. And we'll be taking a walk around on the inside here in just a minute. And we're now in the inside of the space shuttle, and you can see what it looks like at the cockpit. This is a suit, astronaut suit, and you can see here the seat area where the cockpit is and the instruments are, and the pilot and co-pilot seats. Looks very much like a regular airplane. And as I shuttle, this is a two-story cargo bay area, and it's definitely large enough to fit a full-size passenger bus in here. Pretty good size, and if this was a real space shuttle, these doors would be capable of being opened up. But definitely gives you an indication of how much space is inside one.